Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, we're going to talk about Errol Spence Jr. for a second. I recently just made a video about him and why he can defeat Lamont Peterson, so go check that out if you haven't already. That'll be in the description. Little response to my main man, Casual Boxing Talk. But I wanted to talk about Errol Spence because an article recently came out on Boxing Scene where he was talking about Kell Brook, and he was giving Kell Brook a lot of praise. And it's like the way I've been noticing how Errol Spence handles a lot of situations, man. Like I just thinking about it a lot recently. Like the way he handles certain questions, because I've interviewed him as well. The way he handles certain questions and the respect he's showing Kell Brook when he has every right to just basically trash the guy. It's showing me that like this guy is the champion that American boxing really deserves, like that we need, honestly, because he's willing to fight the best. Like his first title defense, he's fighting a very good, a good Lamont Peterson. Lamont Peterson is a good fighter. For your first title defense, that's not easy pickings for nobody. It wasn't easy pickings for a lot of fighters. Lamont Peterson is probably one of the more underrated talents in boxing, even though he's has his things with PEDs and stuff like that. Aside from that, boxing alone, he's a good fighter. But as far as what he said about Kell Brook, man, it's just like he gets it, man. Here's what Errol Spence said in regards to Kell Brook. He said, I quote, I don't see why Kell Brook can't win a title at junior middleweight. No one will know what my fight has done to him until we see him fight again, but he is a good fighter, and we expected him to move up for a while. He then went on by saying, Kell is a guy that has a lot of heart, a lot of balls, and he is a real fighter. He could have easily have vacated that belt and moved up, but he wanted to fight me and not give it up. So I applaud Kell for being a real fighter. Then went on by saying Lamont Peterson is very experienced, and he's got a big heart. We know that he is a guy that knows how to fight, but I don't think he's got anything I haven't come across before. He might be as strong as Kell Brook, so I will be physically prepared and mentally prepared for him, even if it's a tougher fight than Kell Brook. He has all that experience, but I fought other guys with that, and I feel like being a world champion now, I have more experience now, and you can't get more experience than I did going over to Sheffield fighting Kell Brook. End quote. So like, put it into context, right? Like when Kell and Errol Spence signed that fight, Kell was a very confident fighter. Kell was pretty much saying what he was going to do to him and whatnot, and a lot of people were picking Kell Brook to win that fight. I was one of them. And Kell Brook, by many people, even after the GGG loss, was still rated, number one, number two welterweight. He was right there, neck and neck with Thurman or whatever. So he was a really top talent, and Kell Brook. Like it's funny, man, because a lot of you guys before you ever lost to GGG were riding the man's nuts, but when he lost to GGG, y'all just vanished. Like, the dude should be applauded. Like, whatever happens for his career, if he takes 5 straight losses, then so be it. The dude's career should be applauded. Like, the dude went up when he had no reason to go up. He had no reason to go up 160, right? I mean, y'all will applaud Tommy Hearns, right? Y'all applaud Tommy Hearns, who was a career welterweight, who went up to 160 to fight Hagler, okay? But then when Brook does it, literally same thing, okay? Same thing. Undefeated welterweight, number one welterweight, goes up to middleweight to fight the number one middleweight. Same thing that happened with Hagler and Hearns. And he loses in 4 rounds, gets out in 4 rounds, whatever it was. Stands toe to toe, one of the most dangerous men in boxing. At the time, you had guys like Billy Joe Saunders, Daniel Jacobs, Canelo Alvarez, guys at the damn weight class ducking him. But then you had this freaking welterweight from Sheffield, England, who goes up and fights him. Like, he's a real fighter. And then for him to, at 160, when he had every reason to go to 154 after the next fight, because Kell's already had problems making 147, he killed himself to make weight for that Errol Spence fight, and he made the damn weight. And for the majority of that fight, he was up on the cards. And unfortunately, Errol Spence is a good fighter. He broke the eye socket. So my respect for Errol went up a lot, man. I've been following Errol Spence for 4 years now. I've been following him for quite some time, since I was living in Texas. I've been following him, and I've always thought highly of him, and just as the years have gone on, I began to respect him more and more and more, and just the way seeing how he handled this thing with Kell Brook, the pressure of going to Sheffield, England, fighting at Bramall Lane, fighting a guy that skilled, fighting a guy that was I don't want to say equally as, physically strong as him, but still outside of himself, the other naturally, most physically strong guy in the weight class. So, just overall with Errol Spence since that fight, I think his stock has went up. I think he's got if he looks impressive against Lamont Peterson, he has nowhere to go but up. And I'm looking forward to seeing him fight the top guys, man. Like, and who knows, man? Boxing's a crazy thing. If Errol can get 2 or 3 more quality wins, and maybe he doesn't be able to make 147, and Kell can string together some impressive wins at 154. Maybe we get Brook Spence too. We don't know, man. I wouldn't mind seeing it. Maybe this time they could do it in America, make it a big fight at like a Cowboy Stadium or something like that, or like a American Airlines Center, something like that. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, man. Just I was really just pleased with how Errol Spence handle this thing with Kell Brook, because like he broke it down pretty well, because a lot of it, even Errol Spence fans don't even respect Kell Brook. And Kell's gonna be fighting on March 3rd against the Russian dude, or the guy from Belarus, Sergey Rybachenko. He fought Tony Harrison. That was his most notable fight. He lost to Tony Harrison, and I don't know, man. I'm just looking forward to seeing how this all plays out. But Errol, one of my favorite fighters. Kell is probably one of my favorite fighters too. There's 2 of the most talked about fighters on my damn channel. So it's good to see the respect. Him actually have that real respect for him, and he had that respect before. He had it during, and he now has it after. So yeah, much respect to Errol Spence, and I just think he's I just think he's one of them fighters, man. That like I'm in America, as far as American fighters go, because there really aren't a whole lot that I like at the moment. To be honest with you, like I try, and when there's an American fighter that's worthy of praise, like I try to give them the just due, but there just really aren't a lot right now. There really aren't, unfortunately. But he's one of them. He's one of the American fighters that deserves praise. He deserves credit, and he's just a class act in and out the ring. So much love to Errol Spence. And yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and take care.